is Dante's. If you guys don't know who Dante's is, he's basically like the most literally autistic jungler in America, in the sense where I think the only thing he knows how to do are like play League of Legends and like post on Twitter. Why are you building Overlord? Titanic, Hydra, Bloodmail, we gotta shoot this guy. So, Dante's posts a little tweet. By the way, this guy fucking tweets like he's writing a fucking book. So get used to it. I've always used art that I found online to add hype to my tweets over the last few years. Hey, same man, I put little horse emojis in my stream title. Recently, when I search for art, I always get AI results and it doesn't evoke the same emotion that I'm used to. As a result, I'm going to be doing something that I've never done before. Over the next 9 days, I'll be looking to commission upwards of 20 different art pieces from artists to hype up my new climb/challenge that'll be starting on July 16th. Due to the sheer magnitude of pieces I'll be looking to commission, I'm putting a price cap of $35 or less per piece. I will also be tagging the accounts that create the pieces and posts that I use them for. If you're interested, just respond to this tweet with examples of your works plus time it will take to complete plus price per piece, and I'll DM you if I'm interested in commissioning. Looking for pieces that feel similar in regards to the ones used in this tweet. Thank you in advance. First off, shout outs to this guy. I've been making amazing artwork like this since I was 5-year-old. So my artwork is put on the fridge by my mom. I think I'm just what you're looking for. Stay in school. That's my fucking goat. A lot of people got very, very upset with Dante's. $35 and exposure doesn't pay the bills or even come close to the value of time and effort that goes into art. Bro, artists charge $50 minimum for a full body of a character with no background, and you're looking at $100 of upwards for something like this. Freedom dollars too. If you can't afford $100 per piece, then just don't commission as many. That price range is not going to cut it. You'll get fake clankers pretending to be real. Maybe half the pieces double the price. Also, shout outs to clankers being a slur now. God bless. I've decided to commission a large amount of artists at the same time, and because of this, I'm severely going to underpay each artist for the hard work is crazy. Twitter artists only after getting $35 instead of $500 after doodling an MS Paint for 45 minutes. So, a lot of people are basically jumping on the, wow, you're paying $35 per piece? Like that's fucked up, Dante's. You should be paying more. You should pay $100. He does kind of go into this on the second tweet, but a lot of people are hopping onto the $35 or less per piece thing, and I get it. It is very kind of like weird to be like, okay, you're at the level of Dante's and you're only spending like X amount of money on pieces. Like, what the fuck, Dante's? You should just be doing better work, or you should just commission less pieces or whatever. I did make a video earlier in regards to like how much money like commissioning artists for multiple pieces over like a long period of time for content purposes does cost you, and how realistic it is. I do think, looking back on it, I really do wish that a lot of those prices were a lot cheaper, especially with how many pieces I got. Now, I'm not saying that like these artists deserve less. Not God no. God knows I used to go to the fucking California Academy of Arts for like a year. But I do think there is an inherent push and pull in regards to how much you are willing to price your work at, as well as how much are you willing in order to work for exposure. And I know the phrase, I know everyone's already kind of being like,
OMG, working for exposure, you should die.
No, chat, this might come as like a little bit as a surprise, but God's greatest slave driver here. Working for exposure is not the worst thing ever. Working for exposure can be good at times. If you guys don't know, the first person I ever started like editing full time for was Tasha Lay. She's a model. Basically for like, I want to say like a solid 3 to 6 months, I was like clipping her channel. I basically made like YouTube shorts or like glitch charts out of context, whatever. I made a lot of content for her, made the thumbnails, blah, 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 scheduled it. Basically to be like daily, like now, did I get paid immediately? The answer is no, because the first couple of clips I just made for free. Like this clip I made for free. I think this clip I made for free. I think this clip I made for free. I made a lot of clips for Tasha, basically for just like $0 because I was a fan and I want to get my foot in through the door. And sometimes that is what you need to differentiate yourself in a creative freelancing industry. That is an unfortunate reality that you do have to deal with if you are breaking into the scene, but know that it is something that can work. Working in a creative field like editing or art or whatever is not an inherently like, I am this good, so therefore I should be paid this amount. That is only part of the thing. A major part of being successful in this field is not being like the best video editor. It is being the best at marketing yourself to different audiences. Like an example of this could be like Joshua Schmidt versus like V Shoujo. These are both brands that I've worked with in the past to some capacity. Oh, shut up, Kazon! Joshua Schmidt compared to fucking V Shoujo makes a lot less fucking money. Does that mean I should charge Joshua Schmidt the amount of money I am charging V Shoujo? The answer is no. You should be expecting to adjust your prices upwards and or downwards in order to accommodate for people who are in higher or lower tax brackets, if you know what I mean. It's like the samples in Costco. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you just gotta lure people in at price points that you know that they are going to find attractive relative to their channel or general income. Like again, it is much easier to charge V Shoujo a higher price point per video because I know that they can afford it, and I know that something they value basically above all is quality and trust from a reputable source. Where Joshua Schmidt, he can afford to like sacrifice, you know, just like a little bit of quality in order to get a better price point. Obviously, we still give him like pretty good quality stuff. We get all his fucking videos, 10 billion fucking videos per goddamn second. Oh my god. But as a result, we're able to work with both of these brands, and sometimes we just eat the difference. Like, yeah, obviously sometimes an editor who's used to being paid like X amount of money is going to be like a little bit miffed when they get Y amount of money from Joshua Schmidt. But again, people who work in Team Blunder do recognize that different clients have different price points and different budgets. And it is something to recognize. Are you pirate software? No. Don't ever compare me to that fucker. You can expect a Wagyu steak value to a McDonald's menu, vice versa. Yeah, like, again, it is literally just supply and demand. Where again, like at certain price points, some things will be acceptable to charge certain people for. And at certain price points, it is just not worth your time. But at the same time, you cannot perfectly expect your work to reach like this median point and be like, I will now charge every single possible client this amount of work, otherwise I will never do it. Because this is how you lose clients. And I'm not saying that it is a completely fair system. I'm not saying that you should be undercharged or you should be overpaid or whatever. It is just the reality of market economics and stuff like this. Again, supply and demand is not a fact of law. It is just a model of a theoretically perfect universe in regards to how markets should operate. Now do the hot crazy graph. I hate the fact that I do know what you're talking about. LS kind of talks about this. People now realizing that they need to take the $35 are the ones that directly benefit from the exposure and thus pole vault their business. They know their worth. What worth? You're only worth what people will pay you, and that's supply and demand. If you're in a position to need the 35 or want to take the 35, then an opportunity at so many eyes on a piece is worth infinitely more than regular rates you charge other people. Holy shit, some of the people are so ignorant and dumb to life and how business works. Again, this is like kind of written like kind of silly, but he's not wrong. LS is not wrong. Like if I got the chance to work with like, if I could like make videos for Critical and he's like, I'm gonna pay $300 instead of $500 per video, but you will get like regular work for me and people will know you as like one of my editors. That is like a good deal for the most part. If what you're looking for is to try and get your foot in through the door and add names to your resume, because having your resume be padded out by being able to say like, yeah, I've worked with Critical and V Shoujo before and like they trust me with some of their work. That is something that money can't really buy. I mean, it can, but like, you know, that's not the point. Literally talk with your clients to have a pay rate that works on both ends. That's what I personally do. Let's say Ame wants a video. Usually a client will be like, hey, how much do you charge per video? I'm like, send us a video that you want made right now. Here's a general range of how much we charge per video. For Team Blunder, it's somewhere around like $80 to $200. That is like the range. I know it's a very big range, but you know what I mean. And based on how long and how much effort this particular video takes, I can give you a more accurate number, but you should expect the video to fall somewhere within this range or like over or under like 10 to 20%, depending on like what exactly you're looking for. And then after we make the video, it's just like, okay, this video took like X amount of time with Y amount of effort. It should cost Z amount of dollars. And like, is this an acceptable rate for you? And if she says yes, then cool. Then we work with her a long time. And if she says no, then it's just like, okay, that's fine. We have the one and done. She gets her video and we all move on happy because she doesn't have to worry about paying us like a bajillion trillion dollars, and we don't really have to worry about, you know, gutting her or like having a client who can't really afford to pay us and like we have to drop the client like immediately because of like financial stuff. This is just like a very simple example, but it has proven pretty tried and true for Team Blunder's advances. You don't get a client list like mine by being bad at marketing and talking to people. If my regular rate was $125, I don't coach anymore, but then I was struggling to pay the bills. I have to lower the rate in order to generate more demand. If my regular rate was also $125, but I saw the opportunity to get hundreds of thousands of more eyes on my coaching in exchange to do it for $30, I would do it. In fact, I've done it for free. 3, these people are destined to be intellectually poor forever because their minds are so simple and ignorant. I'm not fucking reading this giant Bible, but Dante's is right. This was never supposed to be a debate. It was supposed to be a celebration of art. As such, I implore everyone that would type a reason arguing with that disagree with me, instead spend their time interacting with real artists that comment their artwork under any of these tweets. Good job, Dante's, I think. At the end of the day, this does just come down to how much are you willing to sacrifice for publicity. And I think that for certain artists, I think that it is a completely valid idea to work at certain price points for publicity. Publicity is a very, very powerful thing. Getting a bunch of followers onto your whatever it's called so you can get more traction later on and more clients later on is a very powerful thing. Basically, just think of it as you do one piece underpriced to maybe get like 5 pieces in the future at a better price. Like if your average rate right now is like $80 a piece and you do one piece for 35, think about it like in a week when Dante's retweets or post a thing, you're gonna get 2 or 3 clients that are willing to pay 80 to like 120, and it automatically balances out, and you're gonna get money that before you wouldn't have seen. That's just the reality of it. Anyways, that's just my little rant about the freelance market and the expectations of supply and demand models. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this subject matter down in the comment section down below. Let me know if you think Dante's is right or wrong, or you think everyone should always be paid exactly what they're worth. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye forever.